Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of my Busch Gardens Williamsburg recreation. Last time we looked at Verbolten and Mock Tower and a couple other little details here in the Oktoberfest area. Like I said last time, getting really close to finishing this part of the park, making some good progress. There's always more detailing to do, always more little things to fill in, little bits to add, but we're making some good progress. Today there isn't a ton to talk about, but I did want to show off a couple things. As you can see, we have our first draft build of Fest House in place. This is a large eating area at the back of the park. We've got a couple different places to buy food, and I think there's a stage for doing shows and things back here as well. Just a nice area to come and hang out, sit down, get in from the heat, have something to eat, all that good stuff. So this one turned out to be pretty tricky to put together. Despite the simple looking nature of the building, you're missing out on the time I took figuring out how to do the design for this. Trying to take the real life building and translate it over into RCT, always really tricky. This building is no different. So as I mentioned before, we've got this cool balcony up front. I've now replaced it with more of the mini golf station. Like I said, really big fan of this piece, and I'm trying to find more excuses to use it, and here's one right here. So we're using some mini golf station for this balcony area, and peeps can walk up here, but don't have a lot of people up here yet. Maybe I don't have the pass fixed quite right. Yeah, there goes somebody. Once you get inside, it just goes right back down to the main floor. So maybe there's not a whole reason for peeps to go up here. Pathfinding is a bit weird. Definitely need to spend some more time on this building because I want to add some actual food stalls in here and some seating just to get more peeps back here in this part of the park. And I think it's going to help things look a little bit nicer if I add a cutout in here so you can see inside, see all the detailing I plan on putting in here. Also started building back behind Fest House a little bit. There's a picnic area back here and some path that leads you to a couple old structures from Drachenfire, the coaster that used to be back in this area. Sadly, I will not be building Drachenfire for this build because I wanted to kind of represent the park as existed in more recent times. But the station for it does exist. I don't know 100% what they use it for. I think they're going to be building a new coaster back here in the near future. I think for next season. We don't have any definitive knowledge of what this coaster is going to look like, what its layout is going to be. There have been some very educated guesses on what it's going to be, but since we haven't gotten an official announcement from the park, it's not built yet, hasn't even been started. Didn't want to do it for this build, but there is going to be room in here if in the future I want to put it in, or if maybe if you have the save file and you want to put it in yourself, there'll be room for it. But for the meantime, we're just going to have a couple picnic areas back here, some decorative path, nothing for actual peeps to do. The other major thing we've got for this episode is our bridge connecting Germany to Italy has been complete. With that, our official pathing for the entire park is now complete. The circuit is finished, which is very exciting. I was definitely having some issues trying to figure out where to put this bridge. The Germany area and the Italy area didn't quite line up the way that they do in real life. So it's a little bit pushed to one side in order to kind of fit around where Verbolten is. But again, that's totally fine. Just making some concessions from reality to get pathing that makes a little bit more sense in RCT. It's fine by me. Got a couple fun decorations on it though, which were interesting to put together. There are a bunch of little tent awnings on the bridge, which I've got some, I think this is railroad track supports. Yeah, miniature railroad supports to replicate that. Just doing it diagonally is always tricky to figure out what works best there, but I think it turned out okay. And then we have some Giga Coaster track for the truss supports underneath, which did make me a little bit sad that this isn't nearly high off the ground as it needs to be. If you go look at photos of this bridge, there's actually quite a lot of space between the walkway and the water surface. So not quite sure how I would have best done it in RCT to try to get those things the right way around. There's probably more elevation change in the park than I originally gave credit for. And had I spent maybe some more time on making interesting terrain up front, maybe making some different elevation changes for this part of the park, it would have made the bridge look a little bit higher up. But that's a lot of effort, and I don't think it would have really been worth it. Would probably have just made the path designing a little bit more difficult for no real benefit. Aside from that, pretty happy with this bridge. I think it connects over to Italy pretty nicely. So far we don't have anybody getting lost, which is good. As always, a little bit more cleanup to do over here. I hadn't quite finished this part of Italy yet because I wasn't sure how I was going to fit all the bridge stuff together, but now that that's taken care of, I guess we can tidy up this zone a bit more here in the future. But yeah, other than that, that's about all I have to show off for today. Kind of a shorter episode. Like I always say, you know, important to show off some of these things that are helping get the park further to completion. So really happy with the way things are turning out, and just gotta keep cranking along, filling in some more of these details. Next on my list is to do some more outside the park stuff. Some of these back lots that need designed. Finish up the picnic area back here. Do a lot more detailing. There's always a lot more detailing to do. But that'll be for a future episode. I hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.